Howdy 5th grade authors, Mr. Lure is back again with another technology video. This is to give you some basics on Google Slides and how you can change and make your slides more creative. If you're looking at the screen right now, you see I have pulled up my Chapter 2 paragraph on my family. But if you look at the slide, with one paragraph it looks kind of boring. So I want to kind of show you some basic things you can do in this video to make your slideshow and autobiography book stand out. So the first thing is changing your background color. So if I come up here to slide, notice right here it says change background. So there's a number of things you can do. One is you can change the color. So let's say I want to make it purple. It makes it purple. You could do each slide a different color, as you can see over here, if you wanted to, or if you wanted to reset the theme, if you reset the theme and click that button, it'll change everything if you didn't like it. Let's say I pick blue, and let's say I want to add it to my theme. Now everything is blue. So you can kind of do that with your backgrounds, making it one color, all these colors. Let's say I'm going to make it white again, just to reset reset everything. Add the theme, so that we have that. Let's say we wanted to add an image to the background. Well, you go to the same spot, you change background, image, and then you could take a picture with your camera if you wanted to. You could download photos. So let's say I'm going to take a photo from here. You could go to your drive and do it, but I'm going to take this photo. I'm going to insert it, and when I say done, it should appear. There it is. The one thing I do want to caution you on if you're using background photos is notice what happened to the font. It's very hard to read the words, and the most important thing when you're doing a writing project online is that the person can actually read it. So if you're using pictures, that's fine. Just be careful with how it comes out. I would suggest, if you were going to use pictures instead, to do insert and then image. And then you could go do the same thing. You could search the web, you could go to your photos, you could take a camera. And let's say I wanted that a similar picture. I would just scroll over here. Let's see, maybe I want, I don't know, this one because it's our school mural. I click it, and I'll move this out of the way so I can click insert, and there it is. And notice it's a lot easier to see, and it's a lot clearer to see. So that's my suggestion for pictures. Maybe not making it a background, but then adding 2 or 3 in there to make it beautiful. The next thing we can do, friends, is change the font. So you've already written something. I'm going to hold down my mouse on the left side. I'm going to highlight all my font. Let's say I want to make it bigger. We go up here to these numbers. And notice we can make it bigger. We can also make it smaller. So that way it fits in. We should really not try to go above 15 or 16 on the font. If you have to get your font in the 20s to make the paragraph look big enough, you probably haven't written enough information. So my suggestion is usually, especially in the Google slide, to keep it around 12 to 14. Maybe 15 at the highest. But I wouldn't go much higher than that because then it's just looking like you are trying to hide the fact that you didn't write a whole lot. Let's say you don't want Comic Sans, which is what I have for a font. You could also change what your font looks like. Maybe I want it to be Anton. Maybe I want it to be Black Ops. And you could do this for each slide that you have. Also notice I can go over here, and if I want to make it bold, I can make it bold. I can underline, I can italicize, I can underline, and you can do that for particular words too. Maybe you don't want everything bolded. Maybe you want one word bolded and underlined. You can just highlight the one thing and then that works. Maybe you want to change the color of the font. Well, you'd come over here and where it says text color, that would be how it works. You would just, and it changes color. If you wanted to highlight something, maybe I don't trust that the family can be seen bold enough, we can come over here to highlight color, and then I can pick a highlighter color, and then it really picks it up. Again, remember, if you're changing the font or doing cool things to this, the goal is to make sure you can read it. You also want to make sure you don't overdo in your slides. I've seen some people go nuts on these slides, but if you do that, you run the risk of having too much going on a slide, and it distracts the reader. So while you want to make your slides interesting, you don't want to overdo and make it so the reader is going to get a headache after they watch it. So those are some of the basic things I can think of. Some other buttons that you might want here, maybe if you want to align your work and you want to make it straight, you could click here and notice then it centers your work. You can move it back to the left. Line spacing, if you wanted to make it a little bigger. All that stuff. The last thing you might want to look at for right now is when you want to view it, you would click on Present. And then you could view it as an entire slide, and you could go from back and forth with it. So friends, this is just a couple basics for Google Slides. I just wanted to let you have a spot you could go to look this stuff up and have a reference. Once we get going, maybe we'll make a more advanced topic about Google Slides. But for now, these are the basics of kind of making your Google Slides beautiful. And we'll see you again. I'm Mr. Luers. Happy writing, friends.